The world is not run by force. It is run by strategy. The ones who control the board are not the strongest, but the ones who know how to move the pieces. Power, it's everywhere. It dictates boardrooms, politics, social circles, and even family dynamics. You can either learn the rules or be played by those who already know them. In this deep dive, we explore the hidden game of power, its laws, dangers, and strategies that separate the powerful from the powerless. Power is not about brute strength, it is about understanding human nature. Those who ignore this reality become pawns in someone else's game. Those who embrace it, they become the players. Stay with me until the end, because by the time you finish this, you will never see the world the same way again. Law number 1, never outshine the master. One of the greatest mistakes in power is making those above you feel insecure. When you shine too brightly, those in control will feel threatened. They will cut you down, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something too right. 1. Power is perception. People do not judge you by your talent alone, but by how you make them feel. If your brilliance makes them feel inferior, they will see you as a threat rather than an asset. Your skills and intellect should be seen as a tool for their benefit, not as a force that could eventually replace them. 2. The illusion of praise. You may believe that impressing your boss or leader will earn you favor. However, too much competence can breed jealousy and resentment, leading to sabotage rather than rewards. Many have fallen into the trap of thinking that being indispensable will protect them, when in reality, it often speeds up their downfall. 3. The master's ego is fragile. Even the most powerful people have insecurities. If you expose their weaknesses, even unintentionally, you risk triggering their defense mechanisms. They will work behind the scenes to remove you before you become a bigger problem. The truly powerful are those who understand how to manage their superiors' emotions and anticipate their reactions. 4. The tragic case of Nicolas Fouquet. In 17th century France, Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister, threw an extravagant celebration at his palace, dazzling the nobles. King Louis XIV was not impressed, he was enraged. Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. He had outshined the king. The lesson here is simple: never let your success make those above you feel small or irrelevant. 5. The smart alternative, subtle brilliance. Instead of directly displaying your full potential, let your skills serve those in power. Allow them to take credit if needed. You will benefit far more as a trusted advisor than as a visible threat. A wise player of power ensures that their leader sees them as an asset, not competition. 6. Flattery versus overachievement. There is a fine line between being seen as competent and being seen as a competitor. Praise your superiors for their intelligence and vision, making them feel that they are the source of greatness. A well-placed compliment can be far more effective than raw talent displayed too boldly. Let them believe they are the sun, and you are merely reflecting their light. 7. Why kings keep fools. Historically, many rulers had court jesters. Why? Because these fools posed no threat. By contrast, highly intelligent advisors had to be careful. If they seemed too smart, they were often executed or exiled. The safer route to power is to make yourself useful while maintaining the appearance of humility and submission. 8. Case study: Thomas Wolsey's rise and fall. Thomas Wolsey, a brilliant political strategist in King Henry VIII's court, was given immense power. However, when he failed to secure the king's desired annulment, Henry turned on him, stripping him of everything. Wolsey had flown too close to the sun. If you ever find yourself in a position of influence, remember that your success must always appear to be in service of those above you. 9. Master the art of strategic retreat. When in doubt, downplay your skills. Give credit to those above you and let them shine while securing your own position quietly. A strategic retreat today can lead to a powerful comeback tomorrow. The most successful figures in history were those who knew when to step forward and when to step back. 10. The ultimate lesson, make your master feel secure. If you make those above you feel safe, they will reward you. If you make them feel vulnerable, they will destroy you. The key to long-term power is strategic humility. Make them believe that you are loyal, dependable, and incapable of ambition beyond serving their needs. True power lies in controlling perceptions, and the best way to maintain control is to remain under the radar while subtly pulling the strings behind the scenes. One of the greatest mistakes in power is making those above you feel insecure. When you shine too brightly, those in control will feel threatened. They will cut you down, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something too right. 1. Power is perception. People do not judge you by your talent alone, but by how you make them feel. If your brilliance makes them feel inferior, they will see you as a threat rather than an asset. 2. The illusion of praise. You may believe that impressing your boss or leader will earn you favor. However, too much competence can breed jealousy and resentment, leading to sabotage rather than rewards. 3. The master's ego is fragile. Even the most powerful people have insecurities. If you expose their weaknesses, even unintentionally, you risk triggering their defense mechanisms. They will work behind the scenes to remove you. 4. The tragic case of Nicolas Fouquet. In 17th century France, Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister, threw an extravagant celebration at his palace, dazzling the nobles. King Louis XIV was not impressed, he was enraged. Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. He had outshined the king. 5. The smart alternative, subtle brilliance. Instead of directly displaying your full potential, let your skills serve those in power. Allow them to take credit if needed. You will benefit far more as a trusted advisor than as a visible threat. 6. Flattery versus overachievement. There is a fine line between being seen as competent and being seen as a competitor. Praise your superiors for their intelligence and vision, making them feel that they are the source of greatness. 7. Why kings keep fools. Historically, many rulers had court jesters. Why? Because these fools posed no threat. By contrast, highly intelligent advisors had to be careful. If they seemed too smart, they were often executed or exiled. 8. Case study, Thomas Wolsey's rise and fall. Thomas Wolsey, a brilliant political strategist in King Henry VIII's court, was given immense power. However, when he failed to secure the king's desired annulment, Henry turned on him, stripping him of everything. Wolsey had flown too close to the sun. 9. Master the art of strategic retreat. When in doubt, downplay your skills. Give credit to those above you and let them shine while securing your own position quietly. 10. The ultimate lesson, make your master feel secure. If you make those above you feel safe, they will reward you. If you make them feel vulnerable, they will destroy you. The key to long-term power is strategic humility. One of the greatest mistakes in power is making those above you feel insecure. When you shine too brightly, those in control will feel threatened. They will cut you down, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something too right. Case study, the fall of Nicolas Fouquet. In the 17th century, Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France, built a luxurious palace, Vaux-le-Vicomte, and threw the most extravagant party the kingdom had ever seen. But there was a problem: his king, Louis XIV, felt overshadowed. Within weeks, Fouquet was arrested, tried for embezzlement, and spent the rest of his life in prison. Meanwhile, Louis XIV learned from his mistake. He built the Palace of Versailles, a place so grand that no one could outshine him again. Lesson: let your superiors feel comfortable. Be subtle in your brilliance. Help them feel powerful while positioning yourself for long-term success. Law number 2, never trust too much in friends, use enemies instead. 1. The betrayal of familiarity. Friends often take liberties, believing they deserve special treatment. This leads to unrealistic expectations, and when you fail to meet them, resentment builds. 2. Loyalty built on respect, not emotion. True loyalty comes from mutual benefit, not emotional ties. A former enemy, once converted, remains loyal because they have something to prove. 3. Enemies as strategic assets. An enemy knows the price of betrayal is high. A friend may betray you carelessly, but an enemy-turned-ally values the partnership. 4. Abraham Lincoln's genius. By appointing his fiercest critic, Edwin Stanton, as Secretary of War, Lincoln turned opposition into one of his greatest strengths. Stanton worked tirelessly for Lincoln because he had to prove his worth. 5. Friendships in business are dangerous. Emotional decisions cloud judgment. When you involve friends, personal feelings override rational decision-making, often leading to disaster. 6. The Shakespearean tragedy of trust. Throughout history, kings and emperors have been betrayed by those closest to them. Julius Caesar trusted Brutus, and it cost him his life. 7. Keep friends at arm's length. You can maintain friendships, but when power is involved, distance is necessary. The moment power enters the equation, friendships become liabilities. 8. Napoleon's mistake. Napoleon placed trust in friends, appointing them to high positions. Many turned against him when the opportunity arose, accelerating his downfall. 9. Control emotional attachments. Friends expect favors, enemies expect nothing but fairness. The moment emotions dictate your strategy, you lose power. 10. Build alliances, not friendships. A relationship based on necessity is stronger than one based on familiarity. Always prioritize strategic alliances over personal bonds. The paradox of friendship is an emotional bond. Power, however, demands rationality. Friends are quick to turn on you, not because they are bad people, but because familiarity breeds expectation and entitlement. Enemies, however, know the cost of betrayal. Their actions are calculated. Their loyalty, once earned, is stronger than that of friends. Historical example, Abraham Lincoln and Edwin Stanton. When Lincoln was elected, one of his fiercest critics was Edwin Stanton, who publicly mocked him as an ignorant country lawyer. Instead of holding a grudge, Lincoln appointed Stanton as his Secretary of War. Why? Because Stanton was the best man for the job. The result? Stanton became one of Lincoln's most loyal allies and played a crucial role in leading the Union to victory in the Civil War. Lesson: friends often feel entitled and may betray you out of jealousy. But a former enemy, once converted, will be your strongest supporter because they have something to prove. Law number 3, conceal your intentions. 1. The power of mystery. When people cannot predict your moves, they become uncertain. Uncertainty breeds caution, giving you the advantage. 2. The danger of transparency. If people know your goals, they can block or counter them. Concealing your intent keeps you in control of the game. 3. Otto von Bismarck's strategy. Bismarck united Germany by playing enemies against each other. If he had revealed his true ambition early, he would have been stopped. 4. Subtle manipulation over blunt force. Powerful people never reveal their full plans. They introduce ideas gradually, ensuring compliance before people realize the shift. 5. Misdirection in war and politics. Great generals and politicians thrive on deception. They let others believe in false security before striking. 6. The illusion of weakness. Sometimes appearing weak makes others underestimate you. Sun Tzu's Art of War states, when strong, appear weak. 7. The power of a poker face. Never let your emotions reveal your true thoughts. People who master composure control every interaction. 8. Hollywood's silent power moves. The most influential directors and executives rarely explain their full vision. They let results speak louder than words. 9. Avoiding resistance before it forms. If people sense your rise, they will try to stop it. Keep ambitions subtle until they are already achieved. 10. The golden rule of concealment. Always reveal less than necessary. Let others interpret your moves while you control the narrative. Power thrives in mystery. The more predictable you are, the easier it is for people to manipulate, anticipate, or block you. Example: the rise of Otto von Bismarck. Bismarck, the mastermind behind the unification of Germany, never revealed his long-term goals. He played his enemies against each other, convincing them they had the upper hand, only to strike when the moment was right. Had he been clear about his ambitions, he would have been stopped long before he achieved his goals. Lesson: keep people guessing. Reveal only what is necessary and let them make their own assumptions. Part 2, Strategic Moves of the Powerful. Fire. If you're finding this valuable, don't forget to like the video. It helps spread these powerful strategies to more people who need them. Now, let's dive into the next section. Law number 4, say less than necessary. 1. The silence that commands attention. People who speak less appear more confident and in control. Silence forces others to listen when you do speak. 2. J.P. Morgan's mastery of silence. He let others talk themselves into corners while saying very little. His few words carried more weight than endless chatter. 3. The risk of over-explaining. The more you explain, the weaker your argument becomes. Powerful individuals let their actions speak louder than words. 4. The fear of the unknown. A person who speaks too much reveals all their cards. A quiet figure leaves others guessing, which is a position of power. 5. Political leaders who use silence. The greatest leaders understand that measured speech is more impactful. Every word spoken must be deliberate. 6. The art of letting others speak first. Listening allows you to gather information while others unknowingly expose themselves. Knowledge is power. 7. The unexpected weight of few words. A silent figure can dominate a room by making their words rare and impactful. 8. Steve Jobs and strategic pauses.
Law number 5, guard your reputation with your life. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. Once it is tarnished, it is nearly impossible to restore. The best defense? A strong offense. 1. Reputation is your armor. Reputation acts as a protective shield in the world of power. A strong reputation can precede you, ensuring that enemies think twice before attacking. Build a reputation of strength, reliability, and unpredictability so that others fear challenging you. 2. The silent influence of a reputation. Your reputation works for you even when you are absent. A person with a solid reputation doesn't have to fight every battle. People will assume their strength and adjust their actions accordingly, preventing conflicts before they even start. 3. Guard against smear campaigns. The higher you rise, the more people will attempt to drag you down. Your enemies will spread lies and misinformation. Stay vigilant, control the narrative before it controls you. Respond swiftly but subtly when your reputation is under attack. 4. The legend of Zhuge Liang. In ancient China, Zhuge Liang, a brilliant strategist, once found himself trapped in an empty city with enemy troops approaching. What did he do? He sat on the city walls, playing a guqin, a traditional Chinese instrument, as if he had a hidden army waiting inside. The enemy, fearing an ambush, retreated. His reputation alone won him the battle. 5. Rebuilding a damaged reputation is harder than building one. Once a crack appears in your reputation, it spreads like wildfire. Defending your name is more effective than trying to restore it after it has been damaged. A tarnished reputation can haunt you for years, making it crucial to protect it at all costs. 6. Create a reputation of power and integrity. People respect consistency. Ensure that every action, every public appearance, and every interaction reinforces the reputation you want to establish. If you want to be seen as wise, never act recklessly. If you want to be respected, never appear weak. 7. Avoid association with the wrong people. Guilt by association is real. If you align yourself with the wrong people, those who are untrustworthy, scandalous, or incompetent, your reputation will suffer. Be selective with whom you associate. 8. Attack is the best defense. If someone spreads lies about you, counter it with undeniable proof of your credibility. When possible, strike first. Those who shape the narrative first often control the perception. The best way to defend your reputation is to proactively guard it. 9. Use your reputation as leverage. A strong reputation is not just defensive, it's an asset. People will want to align themselves with you, provide opportunities, and offer loyalty because they know your name carries weight. Use it wisely. 10. The ultimate lesson: reputation is power. A person with a respected reputation moves through life with ease, gaining influence effortlessly. The moment your name carries power, you no longer have to fight every battle, your reputation does it for you. Guard it as you would your life. Law number 5, guard your reputation with your life. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. Once it is tarnished, it is nearly impossible to restore. The best defense? A strong offense. 1. Reputation is your armor. Reputation acts as a protective shield in the world of power. A strong reputation can precede you, ensuring that enemies think twice before attacking. Build a reputation of strength, reliability, and unpredictability so that others fear challenging you. 2. The silent influence of a reputation. Your reputation works for you even when you are absent. A person with a solid reputation doesn't have to fight every battle. People will assume their strength and adjust their actions accordingly, preventing conflicts before they even start. 3. Guard against smear campaigns. The higher you rise, the more people will attempt to drag you down. Your enemies will spread lies and misinformation. Stay vigilant, control the narrative before it controls you. Respond swiftly. Law number 6, make people depend on you. Power comes not from being liked, but from being needed. 1. Dependency equals control. When people rely on you for their success, stability, or survival, they cannot easily discard you. The more indispensable you are, the more power you wield over them. 2. Steve Jobs and Apple, a case study in dependency. Steve Jobs wasn't just the founder of Apple, he was its heartbeat. When he was fired in 1985, the company struggled. They brought in new leaders, but none could replicate his vision. In 1997, Apple had to beg him to return. He did, and turned the company into the powerhouse it is today. 3. Keep key information to yourself. Knowledge is power. The more unique knowledge or skills you possess that others need, the harder it will be to replace you. Those who give away all their secrets lose their leverage. 4. Create a niche only you can fill. Find a role, service, or skill that no one else can easily replicate. Make yourself the sole provider of something essential. If you're the only one who can perform a certain function, people will be forced to rely on you. 5. Offer value no one else can provide. Those who are easily replaceable never have real security. Continually develop unique skills and insights that set you apart. The more valuable you become, the less likely you are to be discarded. 6. Cultivate dependency in leadership. Great leaders make their teams feel empowered, but also ensure that their guidance is indispensable. If your subordinates believe they can function without you, your position is vulnerable. 7. Encourage others to lean on you. Without being overbearing, create an environment where others naturally seek your help, advice, or expertise. Once people regularly depend on you, you have secured an invaluable position. 8. Protect your role at all costs. Once you've made yourself essential, guard your position carefully. Others may attempt to take over your role, diminish your influence, or learn your secrets. Always stay a step ahead. 9. Dependency is more powerful than friendship. People can walk away from friendships. They cannot walk away from those they need to survive or succeed. Make yourself a necessity, not an option. 10. The ultimate lesson: control through indispensability. The truly powerful are not those who are liked, but those who are needed. Make yourself irreplaceable, and you will always hold the upper hand in the game of power. Power comes not from being liked, but from being needed. Example: Steve Jobs and Apple. Jobs wasn't just the founder of Apple, he was its heartbeat. When he was fired in 1985, the company struggled. They brought in new leaders, but none could replicate his vision. In 1997, Apple had to beg him to return. He did, and turned the company into the powerhouse it is today. Lesson: if you make yourself irreplaceable, power will always find its way back to you. Law number 7, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. 1. Misfortune is contagious. The people you surround yourself with directly influence your mindset, decisions, and opportunities. Those who constantly find themselves in unfortunate situations often carry self-destructive habits. Associating with them can drag you into their chaos. 2. The weight of negativity. Negative people feed off drama and failure. They thrive on complaints and misery, creating an environment where success becomes impossible. If you want to grow, you must free yourself from their gravity. 3. The curse of victim mentality. Some individuals see themselves as perpetual victims. They blame external forces for their failures instead of taking accountability. The more time you spend around them, the more likely you are to adopt their defeatist perspective. 4. The power of selective association. Successful people deliberately choose their company. They seek out individuals who inspire and challenge them to do better. If someone constantly brings negativity into your life, it is not your responsibility to fix them. 5. The hidden dangers of sympathy. It is human nature to feel compassion for those struggling, but your sympathy can be weaponized against you. Many manipulators use their misfortune as a tool to drain you emotionally and financially. Learn to distinguish between genuine need and toxic dependency. 6. Learn from history's cautionary tales. Great leaders have fallen due to poor associations. Consider Napoleon's exile. He surrounded himself with ambitious but reckless individuals, leading to disastrous decisions. One wrong alliance can cost you everything. 7. The unwritten law of energy exchange. Energy is transferable. Spending time with those who radiate failure, pessimism, or desperation will leave you feeling drained and unmotivated. Protect your mindset and ambition by choosing those who uplift and inspire. 8. The manipulation of the perpetually unlucky. Some people thrive on chaos because it keeps them relevant. Their troubles always seem to be someone else's fault, and they expect you to invest in their endless crises. The more you help, the deeper you are pulled into their dysfunction. 9. Cutting ties without guilt. Many struggle to walk away from toxic relationships out of guilt. However, distancing yourself from negative influences is an act of self-preservation, not cruelty. You are responsible for your own well-being and success. 10. The ultimate lesson: protect your space. Your time and energy are limited. If you fill them with the problems and failures of others, you leave no room for growth. Avoid those who bring bad luck, and watch how your own fortune improves. Law number 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. 1. The power of positioning. True power lies in controlling the playing field. When you make people chase you, they are operating on your terms, and their eagerness places them in a weaker position. 2. The strategic art of indifference. The more you appear unavailable, the more people will seek you out. Scarcity creates value. When you make yourself too accessible, people take you for granted. 3. The hunter becomes the hunted. Rather than exhausting yourself chasing others, create situations where they must seek you out. Whether in business, relationships, or negotiations, forcing others to come to you shifts the power dynamic. 4. Using desire as a weapon. People always want what they cannot have. If you make yourself seem just out of reach, they will put in extra effort to win your attention, approval, or favor. This makes them easier to influence. 5. The illusion of choice. When people come to you, they feel as though they are in control, but in reality, you have orchestrated the entire situation. You create the perception that they are making independent decisions, while guiding them toward the outcome you desire. 6. Ancient military strategies of luring the enemy. The best military leaders in history, such as Sun Tzu and Alexander the Great, knew how to bait their enemies into traps. They created false openings, allowing their opponents to walk into their own downfall. 7. Business and market demand. Top brands and successful entrepreneurs master the art of demand creation. They don't force themselves onto customers, they create an irresistible aura that makes people seek them out. 8. The social psychology of attraction. Whether in romance, networking, or influence, people value what they must work for. If you make your attention too easy to gain, it loses its appeal. The key is to make yourself the prize. 9. Mastering the art of the slow response. Never seem too eager. Taking time to respond, whether in conversations, negotiations, or deals, builds anticipation. It forces the other party to wait, increasing their emotional investment in securing your attention. 10. The ultimate lesson: make them chase. Powerful individuals never beg for attention or opportunities. They create such a compelling presence that others come to them, willingly handing over control. Set the stage so that people pursue you, not the other way around.